We're working to connect a region of over 600 million bridges between our lands.
Hello and welcome to ASEAN in Focus, delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco and here are the headlines. A total of 29 agreements signed between the Philippines and China have highlighted the first state visit of Chinese President Xi Jinping to Manila. Indonesia is expected to release the only female member of the Bali 9 heroin trafficking gang from prison on Wednesday after serving 13 years in a case that caused a diplomatic furor. Thai scientists and crocodile farmers are now working as a team following a breakthrough discovery. The reptile's eggs could be used to create human dentures. A total of 29 agreements signed between the Philippines and China have highlighted the first state visit of Chinese President Xi Jinping to Manila. President Rodrigo Duterte and Xi on Tuesday witnessed the exchange of agreement ceremony after the two leaders held an expanded bilateral meeting at the Malacanang Palace. A memorandum of understanding on cooperation on oil and gas development in the West Philippine Sea topped the list of signed bilateral documents in the fields of trade and investment, banking and finance, infrastructure, agriculture, education, culture, and people-to-people exchanges. Other signed deals include cooperation on the Belt and Road Initiative, Executive Program of Cultural Agreement for 2019 to 2023, Basic Education Cooperation, Information and Communication Technology, strengthening the building of agricultural cooperatives, Infrastructure Cooperation Program, Industrial Parks Development, Certificate of Emergency Humanitarian Cash Assistance, promoting cooperation in key infrastructure projects in Davao Region, and Certificate of Humanitarian Cash Assistance. Duterte and Xi also witnessed the exchange of the implementation agreement of the feasibility study for Davao City Expressway project, feasibility study for Panay Guimaras Negros Bridges project, memorandum of understanding on renminbi clearing arrangement, protocol for phytosanitary requirement for export of fresh young coconuts from the Philippines to China, protocol of sanitary and phytosanitary requirements for export of frozen fruits from the Philippines to China, and economic and technical cooperation. In his joint press statement, President Duterte said he is pleased with the current positive momentum of the Philippines-China relations. Meanwhile, Xi said China will continue to do its modest best to help and support the Philippines. The two countries reaffirmed the good ties of their two countries.
This afternoon, President Xi and I discussed how we can further enhance functional cooperation in key work areas such as bilateral trade and two-way investments promotion. We tackled infrastructure development, particularly China's participation in the projects under our Build program, which aims to bring about a golden age of infrastructure in our country. The Philippines' participation in China's Belt and Road Initiative. We discussed mutual concerns on defense, security, maritime cooperation, law enforcement, transnational crime, as well as strengthening our partnership in combating the trafficking of illegal drugs.
It is my distinct pleasure to visit the Philippines at the invitation of President Duterte. I have been looking forward to this visit for a long time, as I'm sure have people in both of our countries. The President and I both agreed to elevate our relationship into one of comprehensive strategic cooperation. This vision charts a clear course for China-Philippines relations and sends a strong message to the world that our two countries are partners in seeking common development. Both sides are of the view that we have been good and close neighbors for thousands of years, that our relationship has been defined by equality, mutual assistance, and a common destiny, and that our strong relationship is a shared asset of the two peoples. Time and again, our experiences show that good neighborliness serves the fundamental interests of both nations and meets the shared aspiration of all in the region. However, the international situation may change. Both sides will remain committed to this relationship and work hard to make it even stronger. Recognizing the wisdom in the saying, all creatures may grow together without harming each other, all roads may run parallel without interfering with one another. Both sides agree that there is no one-size-fits-all development model and that every country has a right to choose its own path. I commend President Duterte for his leadership, under which the people of this country have actively searched for and found a development path in sync with the trend of the times and the Philippines' reality, and have created a bright prospect of economic and social development. China respects and supports your endeavors, and we would like to see the Philippines playing an even bigger role in regional and international affairs. Both sides are of the view that as fellow developing countries in Asia, China and the Philippines face similar developmental challenges, which make us natural partners with a common destiny. The two sides will seek greater complementarity between China's Belt and Road Initiative and the Philippines' development strategy, move forward cooperation around the three pillars of security, development, and people-to-people ties, and make our cooperation more comprehensive and balanced. I have extended a sincere invitation to President Duterte to attend the second Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation, which China will host next year, to discuss China-Philippines cooperation. As our two countries forge ahead as win-win partners, China will continue to do its modest best to help and support the Philippines. Our support will come in many forms, from lending a hand to your counter-narcotics and counter-terrorism struggle, to helping to repair roads and bridges in Marawi and build new infrastructure there. China will import more goods from this country, and Philippine coconut and frozen fruits have been approved for export to China. China will provide another 50 government scholarship grants for Philippine students on an annual basis from 2019 to 2021, and will implement arrangements for Filipino teachers of the English language to work in China. Also, China will donate 10,000 tons of rice to help those communities devastated by Typhoon Umpon. China and the Philippines have a lot of common interests in the South China Sea. We will continue to manage contentious issues and promote maritime cooperation through friendly consultation, and we will work alongside other ASEAN countries towards the conclusion of the COC consultations based on consensus within 3 years, and contribute our share to peace, stability, and the welfare in this region.
In connection to this, President Duterte hosted a banquet to welcome Chinese President Xi Jinping in Malacanang. On behalf of the Philippine government, President Duterte extended a warm welcome to the guests.
In the past 2 years, we were able to hurdle these challenges by resuming bilateral dialogue and deepening our relations to positive engagement. President Xi and I have committed to forge a new legacy of friendship and cooperation as we work together in further consolidating ties with our both nations. I am hopeful that through our cooperation, opportunities for greater collaboration will further promote the prosperity and success of our nations and contribute to lasting peace and stability in the region.
Your Excellency President Duterte, Madame Hanilet, and other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, It is such a great pleasure to visit this amazing country at the invitation of President Duterte. This is a country known for its picturesque scenery, bountiful resources, and hospitable people. Mr. President, I want to thank you and your government for the warm reception accorded to me and my entire delegation. This afternoon, I laid a floral wreath at the Rizal Monument. Dr. Jose Rizal, the founding father of modern Philippines, led the struggle against colonial aggressors and made the ultimate sacrifice, for which he will always be remembered by the people of this country. Some of you may not know that his ancestry could be traced back to Jinjiang City in China's Fujian province, where there is also a monument dedicated to him and where his heroism is widely known. Jose Rizal is not only the father of this nation, but also a symbol of fraternal relations between the Philippines and China. Indeed, our fraternity goes back over 1,000 years. I'm talking about the splendid maritime Silk Road that linked our two nations. Chinese merchants sailing to your shores and trading Chinese silk, porcelain, and tea for your pearls and sea products. History has shown that ours has always been a relationship between equals, a relationship between two good neighbors. In China, we have a saying, a single chopstick can be easily broken. With 10 of them tightly bundled, they can withstand much more damage. I know you have a similar proverb. A broom is sturdy because its strands are tightly bound. In that spirit, let us unite as one and create a better tomorrow for both of our countries. On that note, I'd like to ask everyone to raise their glasses to the prosperity and well-being of the Republic of the Philippines, to the lasting friendship between us, and to the health of President Duterte, Madam Hanilet, and everyone present. Cheers.
Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev and Vietnamese counterpart Nguyen Xuan Phuc held talks on Monday during Medvedev's two-day visit to the communist nation. Speaking to reporters after bilateral talks in Hanoi, Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc said both sides had agreed to triple bilateral trade to $10 billion by 2020. Medvedev said Russia hopes to strengthen energy ties with Vietnam, as well as other sectors including industry, transport, telecommunication, and infrastructure. Russia is among Vietnam's top export markets, as well as a major weapons supplier.
Особо отмечу сотрудничество энергетических компаний России и Вьетнама. Мы рассчитываем на то, что эти связи будут укрепляться. Для этого будем создавать благоприятные условия для реализации совместных проектов и новых проектов с участием «Газпрома», «Роснефти», «Зарубежнефти», «Петровьетнама» и других компаний.
Hai bên sẽ tiếp tục phối hợp chặt chẽ, triển khai hiệu quả hơn nữa hiệp định thương mại tự do giữa Việt Nam và Liên minh Kinh tế Á-Âu, tranh thủ tối đa các thuận lợi ưu đãi để phấn đấu tạo bước đột phá trong thương mại đầu tư, nâng kim ngạch thương mại song phương lên 10 tỷ đô la trong năm 2020.
When visiting the Philippines, Manila or Quezon City is a popular destination. But oftentimes the hustle and bustle of the city can be more stressful on your vacation. So when you feel the need to reconnect to nature or relax again, there's a beautiful oasis just outside of the city called the Garden at Ciudad de Victoria. Some of the species that you can see here include hydrangea, snapdragon, and stargazers. They're truly beautiful. The gardens at Ciudad de Victoria are so peaceful, tranquil, and beautiful that it's become a haven for young couples and a very popular venue for engagement photos. The next time you want an escape from the big city, the garden at Ciudad de Victoria is a wonderful place to visit.
Pep News, Linggo, alas 4 hanggang alas 5 ng hapon.
Welcome back. Boeing on Tuesday insisted it would share any information to emerge from an investigation into the crash of one of its newest planes in Indonesia last month amid reports of a telephone conference with its customers had been canceled. U.S. media reported that the canceled conference between Boeing and client companies was meant to address questions surrounding control systems on the Lion Air 737 MAX. A spokesman for the U.S. craft manufacturer said Boeing has been and continues to engage with their customers. Media reports said Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg had sent a message to staff on Monday insisting that the company leadership had not concealed any information relating to the maneuvering characteristics augmentation system, which was designed to prevent the aircraft stalling. Last month's crash killed 189 people when Lion Air flight JT610 plunged into the Java Sea on October 29, less than 20 minutes after leaving Jakarta on a routine flight to Pangkal Pinang. There were no survivors. Indonesia is expected to release the only female member of the Bali 9 heroin trafficking gang from prison on Wednesday after serving 13 years in a case that caused a diplomatic furor. Australian Renee Lawrence, 41, was arrested in 2005 when authorities caught her with 2.6 kilograms of heroin strapped to her body as she tried to fly out of the international airport on the holiday island of Bali. She was initially handed a life term, but her sentence was later reduced to 20 years and then further cut due to good behavior. Some Australian media have reported that Lawrence could face arrest once she arrives back in Sydney over a high-speed chase involving a stolen vehicle dating back to just before she was arrested in Indonesia. Australia's New South Wales Police Commissioner Mick Fuller said he can confirm there is 2 outstanding arrest warrants for her, and from their perspective, they will make a time reasonable with her legal team to bring her in to have those warrants satisfied. Fallen Malaysia leader Najib Razak is being questioned over the purchase of 2 French-made submarines. An official told media Tuesday the latest probe to engulf the former prime minister since his government's ousting. Najib, his wife, and key allies have been hit with a flurry of charges since his surprise election loss earlier this year as public anger crescendoed over a series of graft scandals. Most of the charges have stemmed from the 1MDB scandal where top officials allegedly looted billions from a government fund to go on a worldwide spending spree. However, the latest probe centers on a controversial $1.2 billion deal signed 16 years ago when Najib was defense minister to purchase 2 Scorpion-class submarines. French submarine maker, then called DCNS, is alleged to have paid more than 114 million euros, or equivalent to $134 million, in kickbacks to a shell company linked to Abdul Razak Baginda, a close Najib associate who brokered the deal. Pakistan and Malaysia agreed to further bolster cooperation in diverse fields and said both sides will identify new areas for future collaboration. Addressing a joint press conference, Prime Minister Imran Khan and Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said both sides will identify new areas for future collaboration. Speaking at the joint presser, PM Imran invited his Malaysian counterpart to visit Pakistan and said Malaysia progressed greatly under the leadership of Dr. Mahathir. Both of them received votes because they stood against corruption. Further, Prime Minister Imran invited the Malaysian PM to visit Pakistan to attend March 23rd ceremony and said that he will be guest of honor at the ceremony. Earlier, PM Imran received a guard of honor during a welcoming ceremony at the PM Mahathir's office in Putrajaya. Both the countries are also expected to sign an agreement on the partial abolition of visa for travel between the two countries. PM Imran, along with his delegation, arrived in Kuala Lumpur on Tuesday for a 2-day official visit. This is the Premier's inaugural visit to Malaysia since assuming his post in August 2018. Cambodia will not allow foreign military bases on its soil, strongman Premier Hun Sen said Monday, swatting away U.S. concerns about a possible Chinese naval site near hotly contested seas. China has lavished billions of dollars in soft loans, infrastructure and investments on the poor Southeast Asian kingdom, providing Prime Minister Hun Sen with a fast-growing economy that he wields as justification for his 33-year authoritarian rule. In exchange, Cambodia has been a staunch China ally. It has ceded disunity among the 10-member ASEAN bloc of Southeast Asian nations over a diplomatic pushback to Beijing's aggression in the strategically pivotal South China Sea. Rumors a Chinese naval base is under construction off Cambodia's southwest coast have been swirling. The area under scrutiny is in the Gulf of Thailand but gives ready access to the South China Sea. However, in comments during a cabinet meeting broadcast on Facebook Live, Hun Sen denied military bases of any kind have or will be built on Cambodian territory. He said he has received a letter from Mike Pence, U.S. Vice President, regarding concerns that there will be a China naval base in Cambodia. He said the Constitution of Cambodia bans the presence of foreign troops or military bases in its territory, whether naval forces, infantry, or air forces. Negros Occidental has been placed on a red alert status in preparation for the possible onslaught of Tropical Depression Samuel. Pag-asa said Samuel has accelerated and has made landfall over Borotac, Nuevo Iloilo at 9 a.m. Acting Governor Eugenio Lacson issued a memorandum to all local disaster risk and reduction management councils and operations centers on Tuesday, placing the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council Operations Center on red alert. During red alert, concerned offices and personnel are directed to report to their headquarters 24/7. All district hospitals were also advised to be on code blue alert, which means 50% of all personnel shall report for duty to render medical and other services. 5 scientists and crocodile farmers are now working as a team following a breakthrough discovery. The reptile's eggs could be used to create human dentures.
Crocodiles, ferocious and feared for their destructive bite. Their abundance in this kingdom makes Thailand one of the world's main exporters of crocodile products. It's an animal most prized when stuffed or skinned. Fashionistas appreciate the animal's textured leather, and connoisseurs love the aphrodisiac promises of its flesh. But one family business is now betting on the beast to change the face of dental care.
We traditionally make the handbag, belt, and also the frozen meat. But recently we have some research into the new products of the fork teeth.
Scientists have recently developed a way to convert crocodile eggshells and bones into hydroxyapatite, a material found in human bones and teeth.
So this means it contains a lot of calcium, and it's possible to use as a calcium producer in the preparation of hydroxyapatite.
The breakthrough discovery could eventually make dental care more affordable in the country known as the Land of Smiles. Hydroxyapatite is an expensive import, and artificial bones and teeth made from homegrown materials could save Thailand millions of dollars a year.
My idea is we want to take the waste material and then put and make it in more valuable material.
The findings may take a bite out of the reptile's deadly reputation. For now, the research is still in its clinical phase, but may soon see crocodiles bring a fresh smile to millions of Thai.
And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco, and I am 1 with 25.